Hey, this is Beth at BethJones.net. I hope you're doing good today. And earlier today, I was emailing my business coach, Diane Cunningham Ellis, and I was telling her that I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to interview her on my podcast. What I'm planning to do is interview experts on my podcast coming up. And you can find that at anchor.fm/Betham Jones. It's also on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Apple, on Radio Public, on Stitcher, and other places online. If you go to my website at bethjones.net, scroll down to the bottom and you'll see Beth's podcast. You'll be able to find it there also. But I was talking to her about the topic of being an accidental entrepreneur. An accidental entrepreneur. It reminded me of the movie called The Accidental Tourist. It's an old movie, and I actually had to watch it again after I talked to her about it to remember what it was about. And basically, it was about a couple whose young son had died. He had been murdered. And that death of their young little boy caused them to split apart. And that's true in real life too. People that have a child die or someone very close to them in their family, sometimes it can actually push them apart. And so it did, and they were separating. And he met this woman who is Geena Davis in real life. The father is William Hurt, great actor, and she's an amazing actress, beautiful actress. She had met him and she was a dog trainer. So she was offering to help train his dog when he brought the dog in. He was going to go on a trip and he needed somebody to take care of his dog while he was on the trip. And she offered to train his dog. And basically, she was a divorcee. She had her own little boy and she was hitting on him. She was inviting him to come over for supper. And he was still going through the separation from his wife, all confused and hurting from the death of a son. And Geena Davis just totally makes a movie. She is so funny. She's a great actress. So I'm not going to give a spoiler alert and tell what happens. But to me, it reminded me of like an accidental relationship. And I feel like that was kind of the theme in the movie. Or if one relationship doesn't work out, you can always go on. But I likened it to accidental entrepreneur. Now, when I was a little girl, I didn't want to be an entrepreneur when I grew up. All I wanted to be when I grew up was a mom and a writer. I love children. I knew I wanted to be a mom, and I've been writing since I was a child and a preteen. And so I would get a journal and, pour out my heart in those little diaries with the lock and key. That's how I got started writing. And I am a mom of 3 beautiful daughters. I'm also a nana, a grandmother to 6 children, which is the cherry on top. So God has blessed me with being both a mom and a nana. They call me Nana. And I'm a writer. I'm the author of 25 books. I'm still writing. So I did not get, like I was telling Diane, for me, it wasn't, go around the board, the Monopoly board, pass, go, collect $200. It was not a straight, direct route to being an entrepreneur. Mine was more, zigzag, how I got here. So today I am also a speaker. I'm an author and I do virtual trainings and events. I coach. And it's not easy being an entrepreneur. And maybe it's that way for you too. It's not been a straight shot. It's not been a direct route to being an entrepreneur. I believe for most people, that's the way it is. It's not a direct route. It's not straight. It's not a straight arrow, but it's more like you accidentally stumble onto this road. Now, I believe it's a God thing. I believe that God is directing our paths, that God is the one, like Diane often says, who has given us this business. We need to use it to glorify Him, use it to use our gifts, our spiritual gifts, our talents, our skills, our intelligence, our brain for Him, all for the glory of Jesus. But a lot of us accidentally, it seems, got here. So I want to read a couple of scriptures for you today. And one is, and it's about being an entrepreneur. Psalm 32:8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. And another is Proverbs 15:22. Without consultation, plans are frustrated, but with many counselors, they succeed. And another is Proverbs 24:6. For by wise guidance, you will wage war. And so God is the one that has given us this business. He wants it to succeed. He desires it to succeed. And we don't need to think that God doesn't care. He's concerned about everything that concerns us. And in this movie, The Accidental Tourist, toward the end, William Hurt, his character was saying, you can't plan. He was telling his former wife that he was separated from. She was trying to get back together with him. He said, you can't plan everything like a business trip, because he planned business trips. He was a writer of travel guides. He traveled a lot for his business. So he wrote travel guides for businessmen. And he said, you can't plan everything like a business trip. Things just happen. This odd woman, he was referring to the dog trainer who was played by Geena Davis. This odd woman helped. She's given me another chance to find out who I am, to step out of the Leary groove. His last name was Leary. To step out of the Leary groove and to stay out. I need her. I need her. He needed this dog trainer woman, Geena Davis, because she gave him joy and helped him to find out who he really was. And she gave him a second chance. And I liken that to being an entrepreneur. We need her. We need that entrepreneur woman. We need to be her. And so God will lead us. He will guide us. He's given us this business. And even though it feels like we are the accidental entrepreneur, we're really not. We're where God wants us. And we're doing the things that he has called us to do, to speak, to write, to share the powerful messages he has given us in our heart for his glory. And so I'm probably going to be doing a blog post about this, maybe a podcast, doing more videos. If you feel like you are the accidental entrepreneur, just know that it's God's plan and that he's leading you and guiding you. And we need to ask him for the wisdom and to help us along the way, to ask for help too, and do the things that he has called us to do. So I hope this encourage and bless you today. This is Beth Jones at bethjones.net. Be blessed and have a beautiful day. I will talk to you later.